What's up, guys? It's Drag, and welcome to
Hey, thank you, lady, and welcome to the Newsing, and your number one source of news on the net for Nerf.
Good job.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay. I might use that one. Alrighty, so number one source for Nerf news on the net. I'm your host, Drac, and today we're talking about this. So first off, I've changed the format a little bit. I thought this would be interesting and a fun way to showcase some of the new tech. So the webcam is super sweet. We've got a funky, fresh Yeti mic, which is getting hopefully better audio pickup for you guys, and you can see me while we talk about the Nerf news. So it's like all the visuals that I like on the main channel, but it'll be good. So what are we talking about today? We are talking about the Nerf rival Nemesis. Now this was leaked from a Singaporean friend of mine, and then I awoke to, of course, the usual like 20 text messages of like, have you seen the thing yet? Oh my gosh. And so yes, I've seen the Nemesis, and now we can finally talk about it. So let's do that. The Nemesis is a primary class rival blaster. It's going to be pretty sweet, and it kind of is following this trend of like doing something better with each new flagship in the rival line. So it's scheduled for a 2017 release. I will have way more information on this blaster at Toy Fair for you, so if you guys can just hang on to your hats for 1 month, I will have tons of super spicy official info for you. But I'm predicting an MSRP of around $100 United States dollars, not only because the rival blasters get more expensive each time we go along, but also because this one has a lot going for it. This is, of course, a full auto blaster. We know that it's full auto and flywheel. M in the title here of MXV 10K or 100. It's hard to say. Lets us know that it is a motorized blaster, so it's just their nomenclature of choice, and we will go with it. It will almost certainly be firing from this barrel down here, I think. There is a small chance that it fires from the top barrel, but one of these barrels is going to be faux, I believe. Now, we see all of these tubes, right? And so it's obviously using something kind of funky, kind of fresh, and let's talk about that. So my good friend Out of Dart sent this over forever ago, and this is his prototype of the Hurricane, right? And so the Hurricane has a bunch of tubes and a fan pusher that moves the balls through these tubes into and allows you to fire in full auto by revving the flywheels and then using the fan pressure to push balls into the flywheels, giving you kind of variable speed depending upon how fast the fan blows of full auto. So I think that this is obviously the inspiration for the Nemesis here. Now, Out of Darts doesn't seem to mind that Hasbro totally ganked his idea, because the idea of like stealing an idea is super duper superficial, and you'd have to be like very, very childish to get upset about that. So it's really great to see progress coming in an official capacity, and Nerf's been doing this for a long time. Like the Messenger, I think, borrowed some ideas from the community. They've done a few other builds that way. I know personally of some prototypes that are based on modifications from the nerfing hobby that may or may not see light. So a lot to talk about here in terms of the actual performance. So the Hurricane is still widely considered, again, to be like the best rival primary, even in a world with the Chaos, which is out of the box full auto at a very or a more consistent fire rate. So I think that the Nemesis is going to be great because it's now an out-of-the-box Hurricane, essentially, that allows us to do a lot of things that we couldn't do with the Hurricane in a slightly more stable package. So whereas the Zeus is small, this is going to be huge. Just abundantly clear, this will be a ginormous blaster, guys. I don't think that the box is doing it justice, but it's going to have 100 rounds of capacity, which is about the middle tier for what a Hurricane can hold. A Hurricane can hold more than that if you just stack tubes, and it holds a little bit less than that if you go for a pretty compact profile to the blaster only peeling. And you can see here that the Hurricane goes off to one side. It doesn't cover both. That means that whichever hand dominant you are, you can still tuck it close to your body, which is nice. This is going to eliminate that problem because these tubes are mostly internal, which means that they're going to be like compact. The blaster will be more durable. It will have less hanging off of it, so to speak. It's still going to have its Picatinny rival rail up top. Now, I think that it's going to use the same rechargeable battery that the Chaos does. I think that because the Chaos battery was not pitched as a here's a rival Chaos battery. It was pitched as a here's a rival rechargeable battery. So it only stands to light that, or reason that this would come to light, and then we would have a battery that works with both. So if you're considering buying that battery for your Chaos, I recommend holding off until Toy Fair, when I can guarantee let you know that this is going to use that as well. I can't promise that as of this moment right now, but when I get my hands on my prototype, I will let you know. And if it does, then that battery becomes a way more reasonable purchase, because it not only is rechargeable and you don't have to buy D cells, but also it will be compatible with both of these. So I think that that's a pretty exciting angle. I like the design of the handle. It looks very long, which is good for those of us with larger hands. The rival line, of course, being marketed to that teenage and older enthusiast kind of demo. So I anticipate this will have very similar performance to any other rival blaster that we've seen before, which means a few things that are awesome in terms of modifications. It'll have those super hefty motors, which means that we can throw a 3S in and not worry about it. Quick rewire, no muss, no fuss, no problems, rewire it and go. That's going to be very, very satisfying and very, very cool in my opinion. Also, it means that we won't have to do a whole lot in terms of like adding on extra stuff. So I don't ever see a world where we're going to have to add on a fan. I don't think that this is necessarily fan powered actually. I think that the pusher mechanism for this is going to be very similar to the Chaos itself. I think that these are going to be gravity fed in some way, and then there will occasionally be some sort of electronically controlled conveyor belt pushing and moving things along, either at the joints or more than likely somewhere down in here, pushing them into the eventual flywheel mechanism. So all of those motors are really easy to just like leave where they're at and overvolt with a LiPo. So I don't personally use the rechargeable battery that often because I like to LiPo power these things, but what I'm saying and what I'm ultimately getting at is that this blaster is going to be sweet for people who like stock class rival stuff, for people who like to modify their rival stuff. I think that it's going to be the next step for them. Now, it doesn't necessarily outdate the Chaos or the Zeus. I like the Zeus for semi-auto. I think that it's much cheaper than these, which is really good. Again, I think I anticipate a 3-figure price tag for this. And then 2, I really like the Chaos still, because even though this is very efficient and there's a world where you might not even have to reload, at least for our SENC wars, shout out to the SENC, we just did like a 65-person war just as a regular thing, which is insane for us. You're going to have to reload no matter what. If you want to win a round, you're going to have to reload. And so, at least in that community, I actually really enjoy the box magazines for the Chaos. And it stinks that they're proprietary and it's awful that you can't buy extra ones, but box magazines are sweet. They're kind of what I'm wired for, and I really like them. Now, they're not super practical to carry stacked together, so they definitely have their flaws, but I like them a lot. So I don't think that it completely invalidates the Chaos, but I think that this is going to be much easier for your average nerfer, and certainly for people who don't modify blasters, this is just going to be a house. It's going to be really, really great. It's also probably going to be pretty heavy and relatively hefty in terms of its size and largeness. But it looks really sweet. I can't wait to share more about it with you at Toy Fair. And now I would like to make a quick announcement about Twitch. So my Twitch channel will be in the description box below. I can't actually make this bigger, guys. I'm still trying to figure out OBS and stacking layers. But I will let you know that tonight I will be on Twitch. I will be streaming from at least 10 o'clock Eastern to 12 o'clock, so midnight. I will be playing Hearthstone. We will do some arena. We might do some laddering, and it should be a ton of fun. I'm really trying to get the Twitch channel off the ground, so if you like watching people do Let's Plays, we can talk more about the Nemesis, we can talk more about modifications, we can talk about really anything that you guys want to talk about on that Twitch stream, but I'll be doing something very similar to this. The audio should be just as good. We'll be using the same webcam, I think, and we'll be streaming some Hearthstone tonight at 10 p.m. And it has to be that late, even though that late is not ideal, because that's around when my day winds down to the point that I can get around to it. But we'll be playing Hearthstone. I'm not super duper good. I promise you fun, friendly entertainment and nothing more. There will be no next level insights into the game. If you don't like Hearthstone, you can just hang out with me. It should be a lot of fun. But I'll be doing that tonight. The link to my Twitch is in the description box below, as well as like all of my other social media good stuff's links. But that is a fun look at the brand new Nemesis. Hopefully you guys enjoy this style of video. I'm really trying to take my content to another level in 2017, which is why I'm working with the Yeti mic and the webcam here, and I've got the additional lighting set up downstairs, and we're working on getting a 4K resolution set up for you guys pretty soon. But hopefully you guys enjoy the changes. I always appreciate and enjoy your feedback. Hopefully you guys are excited about the Nemesis. I am, and I can't wait to bring you more information about it because I have scheduled so many interviews for Toy Fair this year. You guys have no idea. I can't wait to bring you all that content. Much love. Nerf on. Drac out. Bye.